We're good.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 8:45, we're gonna go ahead and call our meeting to order. I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're gonna observe a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. We will do roll call, follow this here.
Yes.
Okay. Ray Camina, here, Javier Castillo, present, Judith Gutierrez, Blasita Lopez, excused, right?
Yes.
Jorge Luis Quintano, present, Michelle Romani,
Present?
and Jonathan Reese. Did you call it?
No.
He did not, he
Okay,
neither confirmed
so we're-
nor requested an excuse.
Yeah,
Okay.
So that's considered unexcused, right?
Correct.
At this point,
yes.
okay.
And Mr. Chair, just to clarify, Mr. Camina, he's pending oath. So,
Right.
yes, yeah.
So officially, he's pending the oath before he can be a voting
That's
member.
correct, yes. Yes.
Mr. Cardenas?
Right, Mr. Camina, let me see. It's, Mr. Gonzalez, District One, Gilbert Gonzalez.
Okay. And then the other four people on the list, those are all considered off. On this list, or one of them still there?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes, it's passed. Member, motion to excuse the members
I
absent.
move that we excuse the members
Second?
that have called off the excuse.
Yes.
Will that be for April, May, and June?
Yeah. Here's the list.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
I-
clarify that. So we didn't have a quorum, so we have Blasita Lopez and Jorge Quijano, due to personal matters, absent on April 4th. And then in May, we have Blasita, Judith, and myself, out for work commitments and, other issues. And then June 6th, today, we have Blasita excused for illness.
Mhm.
Could I
So
move to
we-
amend the motion to excuse those members from the
From the previous
previous
ones.
meetings due to listed reasoning?
Okay,
I second
second. All those in favor?
it.
Okay, any public citizen comments?
None of that is done, Mr. Chair.
Okay, if we move on to the approval of minutes, if we could resume with the three, I guess, meetings, which was, we only have minutes from February, correct? And then
Yes.
none for the other two, so do I entertain a motion?
I would move that we approve the minutes of the February meeting, and then for the, April, March, April, May,
Okay,
no quorum, so move that we approve.
do I have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
One.
No, we don't have to vote.
Okay, minutes approved as read. Now we have discussion on the July meeting because it falls on July 4th. And it's been proposed that we do away with the July meeting and just move to the August meeting.
So moved.
One second.
Okay,
Yes.
all those in favor?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Second is easy move. Review of year-to-date financial statements.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. The financials are on page 8. 8, 9, let me see, all the way to 10. So, as you can see, we are more than halfway of our financials, which is page 8. It's broken down by different categories, and then our collections are on page 9. So, and then on page 10, sorry, is actually our collections, sorry. So except page 10 is our collections that we've been getting right now. So we are up to date right now, we're 87% that we collected, what we projected. And then page 9 kind of gives you a breakdown within each line either personnel, marketing, contractor services. So I'm not sure if y'all have any questions regarding the financial statement.
Joel,
Yes.
in previous years, of
Mhm.
course, I've got to look that over,
Mhm.
but we used to also get like the ADR,
Okay,
so we could gauge to see how the hotel occupancy was.
okay, so on the ADR, the way that we have it right now, we have it either quarterly through the STAR report,
Okay.
and, source strategy. So that would be a quarterly, that we could add, there's a STAR report, but it doesn't reflect all hotels, so it's a sample.
Okay.
But the source strategy does reflect all hotels,
Okay.
and it actually has the ADR for that quarter, the actual monies that were collected to the state controllers, because it goes to the state controllers.
Right, I'd like to see that
Sure.
incorporated, only because the ADR is our benchmark since we are funded by the hotel motel tax.
Mhm.
I think it's important to see, what our benchmark is in regards to heads on beds, because that is our bread and butter. And so, and I know we're a quarter behind, so maybe, and for the August,
Yeah, so, once we get it, because they mailed it to us, we could include it, so, and if it doesn't get it here, we could email it to you guys once we get it, so. So you guys
I
can see it.
just want to see a progress report as to how we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
especially now that we've got a lot of hotels. I
Mm-hmm,
mean, I see the revenue stream and whatnot,
yeah,
but it's also important to see the actual beds.
mm-hmm, yeah, yeah.
Want to see the
I
base?
just, you would say that at this point that we are pretty much ahead, right?
Mhm, yeah.
In hotel revenue.
Yes. Mhm,
And it's a pretty substantial amount, so
mhm,
I think that by the end of the fiscal year, it's gonna be
yeah.
far
We're-
more than in the previous year, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at that because it is important, you know, that we know that we are up to par, and that
Yeah.
at this point, we're ahead.
Yes, that's correct,
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions on financials? Okay. Do we need to approve financials?
No.
Okay. Then we move on to, that included the CDB summary, that included hotel, motel, occupancy collectors, right? So
Mhm.
May activity,
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, my activity is from page 11 all the way to page 16. We had several events that we did. We actually had, we did a proclamation for National Tourism Week. So you'll see there at least the first two pages of activities. One, we did the proclamation on Monday here at our office. We want to thank all the committee members that were able to attend. We had a marketing team that the athletes worked with with some of the local coffee shops to offer special discounts on a few of them. Actually, for the proclamation, we had one of the local coffee shops giving free samples of their coffee, so that was really good. That same week, we opened up our airport gift shop, partnering with the airport.
How come we weren't invited to that one?
That one, because of the restrictions, since it's upstairs, there's a lot more restrictions, so we handed out with PIO, and the airport has restrictions, since it's upstairs, it's not really downstairs. Downstairs, anybody can go in, but upstairs, they have to be escorted. And there's only a number of badges, as a card holder or badge holder, you can only escort up to 5 people. So that's where TSA, and because of TSA, there's a lot of regulation, so we basically send it out mostly to media, and a few, I think 1 or 2 council members were there, and the mayor.
and I think I'm on government alert on their list.
Oh,
So that's probably why.
yeah.
So the thing is, when something like
Somebody's
this
looking at
happens,
you.
even though we can't go, I
Mhm.
found out about it on the Facebook page. I think
Mhm.
it'd be incumbent on you guys to at least send us an email saying, hey, due to space limitations,
Mhm.
all of y'all can't come, but this is what we're doing. And
Okay.
'cause
Yeah, we'll make
board
sure to
members
remember.
kind of like, finding it out on Facebook.
Yeah, no, and I announced, you were actually here when I announced it. We announced it because you were here in the proclamation, so that was
Right,
announced.
but still,
That- Yeah,
you
so.
know, a verbal
Mhm.
versus something.
Yeah, no, we'll make sure to notify you guys, yeah, and this one, there are restrictions, mostly it's
Oh, no,
the,
I get that, I
Yeah.
get that, it's just, you know, finding out.
Yeah.
you know.
so, yeah, I wanted to highlight that, and then, so we had our both sales team and marketing team were busy with different events that they went, for IPW, and then, Reina and Silke went to the women's conference with the Texas Travel Alliance. We hosted a soccer tournament where, and then we worked with the mayor's office and parks and PIO on the Buena Vista Sports Complex. So we were a little busy, and then Casa Laredo as well was busy over there. We are, Mr. Chair, we're very excited that next month we'll be having our Sister Cities Festival. We'll be celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Already?
Yes, on July the 12th through the 14th. So like you all, we're gonna be doing the ribbon cutting is gonna be on the 12th
Okay,
at 10 a.m. So if you guys could put in your calendars, and then we'll send another invite as well.
God, Nick's brainchild.
Mm-hmm. So, we're very excited for that, and, our marketing team did an awesome job to put the banner before all the graduations of high school graduation, so that was awesome.
Mhm.
Cause I think every high school was like 10,000, like close to 10,000, it was like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So we were able to be there, so we're very excited for that.
There's one glaring omission I see here,
Mhm.
the 269th birthday, nothing, other than
Oh,
the Webb County Heritage with their teal for tourism,
uh-huh.
y'all didn't,
What we did with them is
but it's not in the report.
yeah, what, we helped them out with, we had a vehicle that we were offering tours.
Mhm.
So Mundo or Runner was the one
Good.
that was involved, and they reached out to us, and so we provided a vehicle to go to Elsie.
Okay,
So that's how we helped them.
right, but it should be on the report.
Yeah, no, we did that, so, since our involvement wasn't that big, that's
But
why,
still.
yeah.
Why should it be on the report?
Because it's an involvement, this is hopefully going to plant the seeds for a tourism event. Like, they've got the Buena Vista Sports Complex, and that's really mostly local. But the 269th birthday is, the intent, I think, is to make this some sort of a tourism thing, and these were the seeds that were planted, and hopefully they'll grow. And the thing is, I mean, you've got Buena Vista here, you should do the.
And the reason Buena Vista is not a local is pushing out what the complex, it's.
Yeah, but it's
bringing
still,
tournaments.
right, but it's still.
So it's about bringing tournaments, for
Right,
sure.
but
So
it's
it's not, it's
I
not a
would just
local.
like to insert myself in this. I mean, you know, it's been 269 years that we've been celebrating. I mean, this year, I mean, it was, you know, they had a lot of activities, and I attended, I know I saw you there too, and probably some, I don't know. But it was a very well attended, very well attended.
Mhm.
You know, that it's not here, for me, I mean, it's like, you know, it was very well publicized, I mean, on the internet, I mean, they did a very good job.
Right.
And I think Andrea and Alan were very, very good, I
Mhm.
mean, there were a lot of people,
Yes.
so to work that out, you know,
Mhm.
that was the most important thing,
Mhm.
I think.
And I
Yes.
think the board president of the Heritage Foundation said that he tried to go to A La Burgers and to get a Laredo burger,
Mhm.
and he said they were busting at the seams, which was very good.
All of those
Mhm.
businesses downtown were very, I mean,
And
very busy.
And
Yeah.
even groups,
That's good. I figured that's.
I mean, that's the best testament to what
Mhm.
all of this discussion is
Yeah.
about, it was well attended.
Right.
Yeah.
and.
Yeah, no,
Well, good, yeah, I'm glad
Yeah.
to hear that, I think that's important.
Mhm.
So, let's move on.
Okay.
no, that's it, Mr. Chair. I'm not sure if you have any other questions.
Okay. We went into the Sister Cities and opening ceremony, we already discussed. Is there any other, discussion, any other items that besides what Michelle brought up?
There's one suggestion for next year.
Okay.
And at first I thought, because I'd gone to a couple of them, the Texas Historical Commission has something called Real Places.
Mhm.
And it's a conference, and yes, it talks about historical preservation,
Mhm.
but one of the components is tourism.
Okay.
So, I went to a couple of them when I was on the landmark board,
Mhm.
and, they morphed into how communities can promote their historic sites.
Mhm.
And if there's anything I've learned in my monthly pilgrimages to San Antonio, is that, yes, San Antonio has the Alamo, yes, they have 5 missions, yes, they have San Fernando, which is open every day. But I think that we need to tap into promoting our history, our 7 flags. When I spoke to Emily Balkan, the public relations manager at the Alamo, she didn't know that Laredo was its own country. For
You know, Michelle, I doubt it, anybody really, and here in Laredo, I mean, we don't know our own history.
Yeah.
You know, we don't, and I think until we start promoting it through education, through the school districts, you know, we're not gonna get anywhere, because the kids, I mean, you ask them, and you say, you know, what does this mean to you, that I don't know.
Well, nonetheless, this is something we've been grappling with ever since the CVB's been the CVB. And so, in fact, Ms. Balcom was so fascinated by it that she's going to be researching it to possibly include Laredo in her next Alamo podcast called Stories Bigger Than Texas, because she found the whole thing completely fascinating. And I took pictures of the exhibits at the Rio Grande Museum, at the Republic of the Rio Grande Museum, and I highlighted the Santa Ana part to tie it in with her podcast.
Mhm.
You know,
And
that's a
so-
brand new exhibit, I mean, it really is, maybe about a year, or not, I don't even think it's got 2 years old. And anybody that hasn't been, please go, because it's a very, very
Mhm.
interesting.
Oh, it's gonna be
The
free tomorrow.
Republic at the-
And I think the Web County Heritage has always done a good job of promoting the history through many avenues. And I just saw their website recently, I had not seen it in a while, and I was looking for something else. But, you know, sometimes we kind of reinvent the wheels if we're not giving that organization the opportunity to do their job.
Mhm.
And I think they do. I found it because I needed it, I forget what I needed it for, so we even A.R. Sanchez for some reason, and then we looked at that, and we looked at the, you know, kind of the history of where he came from, because they were gonna use it in Oklahoma. But that's how it came about, but there was a very concise, thorough history there, you know, I thought it was very well done.
The day that we inaugurated the opening, Dennis Nixon, he was totally blown away.
Yeah.
He said, my gosh, we need to promote
Yeah.
this
But
more.
the CVB
Yeah.
has to also do its
And
part.
when we are doing,
Because I think what I-
we do promote the history, that's, history and culinary are top 2,
Mhm.
Michelle.
Right, but if
and
you
that's-
remember though, for every dollar you
Mhm.
spend on
Mhm.
heritage tourism,
Mhm.
there's a $21 return on the investment.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing,
So-
that's where we're
Because
constantly
I
promoting.
see everyone going to Mexico, promoting Mexico, but I don't see enough promotion to the northern visitors.
Mhm.
Because the thing is this, I'm gonna put my downtown hat on.
Yeah.
My father was a merchant,
Mhm.
ran McClellan's.
Mhm.
McClellan's in downtown lived and died by the peso.
Mhm.
Fine, we had an election. The minute the peso destabilizes,
Mhm.
the Mexican traffic goes down.
Mhm.
We need to do something to promote the domestic tourist.
And that's what we're working on. and
Yes,
that's what
because
we're
we
doing.
don't have medication vacation to offer,
Yeah.
we don't have the 2-nation vacation, but we have history.
That's correct.
So we need to, I mean, the Webb County Heritage Foundation is doing a great job, but the CVB has to also.
And that's what we're doing, we partner with them. They came to us, they reached out to us, and we helped them out. And that's, like I said, that's one thing. One of the main things that we do is culinary and history
Right.
in the US market and the import stores. And obviously the kayaking at the Rio Grande, some activities that you can't do anywhere else.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things that we're doing. That's we've always partnered with them. If you talk to Webb County Heritage, they'll
No,
tell
I
you
know
that.
that, but
As a perfect example, the #1 selling book right now at the airport gift shop is the Haunted Heritage. It sold out all the history books, they're selling out. So that just tells you how we partner with the Webb County to purchase stuff. a lot of the items that they have, they're already sold
Yeah,
out.
I
They don't
get
have-
that, but
So-
we need to also use social media, we need to
Oh, yeah,
also
no, yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah, no, that's part of our promotion. And our basic guide, you will see pictures.
So, on that note, I know we've been focusing on some of the negative, but I want to focus on the positive.
Yeah.
But it's not negative, it's things.
Well, it's kind of just, all you said is negative so far
No,
today.
but it's
I
not
think that's
negative
kind of like the
because,
downer.
no, because the thing is, I'm being a realist.
No, you're entitled to your opinion, that's good.
And I think that
But
that-
I do want to add, though, that the CBD is in several places. Beyond your job as a tourism, promoter, you also have a lot of challenges. The economy, the government issues, the things that we're dealing with, policies, et cetera. So I think that we managed to keep ourselves positive and financially, fiscally responsible, considering all the things that have been going on. So I do commend you all for that, because in our world, in the world of, the corporate world, we're all facing challenges. And a lot of things that, the things that we're facing are the reality of people not doing and spending how they used to spend. So you all have a lot of responsibility on your ends to keep those things going, those projects going. And I know it's very difficult. So I do
I
think.
kind of want to add to, I kind of feel like it's also ours as an individual, our responsibility to also get the word out. Like, for example, when we host events downtown during the day, a lot of my friends don't know about Casa Ortiz, they don't know about the hidden gems here. And so just this past Pride, a lot of people didn't even know how the Encontrones existed there. So it's I kind of feel like it's also our responsibility to get the word out, not just completely on you guys, because you guys have other things.
Totally.
And you know what, Dan, members come and go, and the staff is here, and I think that they do a fantastic job. I mean, I've been on this committee for as long as Albert Torres has been on, and it's 8 years now. So I've seen the evolution, I've seen the improvements, I see that they try their best, and at every suggestion, they try to incorporate it, they do, and I think that that's one of the things that they do well, you know.
And to go on the record and say, I do resent the accusation of negativity, because perhaps you may not be aware, but I did work here for 3 years. I was a board member for 4 years, so I do know how, at least,
We all do. We all
Right.
do, but we
But-
all try to keep it in this
But
world
that
of, in this world of negativity. I
it's
do
not
believe that we have to
negativity,
just,
we have to be realistic. I mean, if
but the reality is they're doing their job.
they
And
are,
they're doing the
but,
best job that they can, and I
But-
think you're right, but I think that, it's kind of, to me, to the truth, if I was, I feel like it's just boom, 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 like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do this, and I just don't think that's an approach.
this
Maybe
is-
you have to work on that.
David, this is the first meeting that we've actually had. And,
Second.
No, you were
Second.
at the last meeting.
We used to
We
have
didn't
you on
have-
this other side of the other meeting.
no, but we didn't have a quorum for 3
Yes,
months.
yes. No, we
No,
did.
you
For that
don't.
meeting, we had quorum.
Yeah, you did.
The
And
last
as
one we
a
had.
matter of fact, I think that you brought up some of the things that you're doing in San Antonio and how you
Yes.
appreciate it, that we could incorporate, you put that up.
Yeah.
And I think that that's some of the things that
Okay,
they're doing.
but the accusation of being negative, I mean, I'm not an optimist, I'm not a pessimist, I'm a realist. And what I see here is you may smirk, but
There's a fine line between that, but.
no, there isn't, because the thing is, I mean, this isn't a rah, rah, rah. I mean, sometimes we have to look at the reality. And so, the reality is that there are things that we need to focus on.
So where do you work? What's your employment?
Okay, I work for AARP Foundation Senior Community Service Employment Program.
Okay.
We help people 55 years and older, low to no income, unemployed, find work.
Okay. So in my job and some of our work that we do, we're always trying to enhance the quality of life in the community. Probably you're doing that to do your, yes, exactly. But the way we do it and the philosophy and the way it's evolved is that we focus on as much of the positive as possible and gently and carefully and diplomatically bring up some of the things, the opportunities for improvement. And I do believe that you do that to some extent, but I just believe that it should be balanced. Somewhere along the way we should also,
Have you worked in the
recognize the
tourism
good work.
industry? Have you worked in the tourism industry?
Totally. I ran the Center for the Arts for 8 years. I had to promote that place throughout the world. And we brought people from Italy, from all over. Yes,
So
and
are
we
we-
worked I worked with Web Kind of Heritage. I wrote grants for them.
Yes.
We've worked in several places, so we know what it's, what promotion. You're right, and you're totally right. But I think it's something that, like I said, this is a world that we're living in such a world that just, I just don't want to pose it, I guess, impose so much negativity.
It's-
And I want to call it negativity,
Hey, look,
and maybe it's just.
And just to, are we perfect? No. Can we improve? Of course.
Mhm.
And that's what, this is all about. I mean, it's not, but it's gotta be done in a way that, everybody could feel, okay, well, we can do this, it's been brought out. But I think that, given, the job that is being done here, I think that they're doing the best that they can with what they're doing.
And I do realize that, that right now, Eileen is out, and you're doing the best you can. And I've known him when he was a student. He was an intern, so he really went up the ranks, so I mean, and I've always told him privately, I'm very proud of it. And for me, I've always been bonito. And this person back here, Monica, will always be Moniquita. I've known Monica since she was also a student. So both of them have come up the ranks.
Yes, Michelle, and we appreciate that. It's been 24 years since I started with the
Right.
CAB, and things have changed. And it's like our agency explained in a presentation. If you can see what we're doing, they're not doing their job. Our work is out of town. I mean, trust when Juan says we're doing it. That historic aspect is being promoted. You can't see it here. It's out of town. And unless you're subscribing to every Texas magazine,
Yeah.
you're not seeing it.
But I do see the Facebook feed though,
But
that we need
Facebook,
to.
it's being
No,
reassured that
conferences,
we're getting
we
the
can get because of their going out of town and promoting Laredo, right?
Yeah.
And every time that we have a report from, whether he's been somewhere, he goes and promotes our community. He brings how many, conferences, how many people come to Laredo. I mean, it's been improved. We don't have a lot of large hotels, where you can have big conferences there. So we're limited to some degree.
Yes.
But I do commend, all of you for doing, your jobs and bringing a lot of the attention to Laredo. And it brings in a lot of the hotel.
And
But that's the bottom line, hotel.
To focus on a positive and something else too, I think, and I believe, you are an excellent writer. Things that I've read that you've written for, actually back in the day for WBC, et cetera, were beyond, I thought that, I didn't know who had written them until I found out much later. And I think that's something that, you yourself, just like me and George said, put some responsibility on ourselves to promote and write things of our own and help them out. I mean, I do that for other organizations, they don't even ask me, but I tell them, I say, just give me the flyer, and I have like 200 and something people on my email list. And some of you have gotten that stuff. I send you all flyers on everything whatever I try to happen. So I think we can all help each other, and I agree with you that there is always opportunity, for more. And I think, but I do commend the work that they've done, just like I commend yours. Like I said, especially the fact that you work for senior citizens. I'm a big advocate for anything that belongs to the senior citizens. I'm approaching that, so I'm setting the groundwork. Setting the groundwork.
And
We don't get there too soon.
And we do have a great placement rate, but going back to, the whole issue with this Balcom, I don't know if anything's gonna come of it. She may be contacting, more than likely, the Heritage Foundation. She may be contacting you guys for stuff, but it's a podcast that has thousands of listeners, and it's more than likely going to be free.
And the more you share, the better. Anything that we see, I know that, George, you share a lot of stuff from the arena, and I've seen that you share it. So anything we can do to help them, that's what we're here for. That's the idea of this advisory board, is to help them and assist them and support them.
Yes.
very important, supporting them and inspiring them to continue their good work.
Because it's like, I know like we have ideas, but at the same time, I know you guys cannot do it because y'all are tourism. Like when we mentioned the whole, a bus, you know, just doing a tour with people from out of town, I mean, y'all cannot do that. I know other people have mentioned like the bicycles, you know, going around downtown, but like.
We used to
the
do
bicycle-
camp tours. We used to do those tours.
A lot of stuff that was, you know, once again, like I said, we're dealing
Yeah.
with a different economy,
Yeah,
different.
there's
trust me,
a lot of changes.
We try to fund as much as we can, but there's not enough money to.
No, when I was in the commissioner's court, the commissioner tried to introduce the horse and buggies, you know, it is so hot that it was like, you know, the horses, I mean, you have to think of.
We're horses
the
and-
animal cruelty.
Exactly, yeah.
Really, I mean, so
Hey, that's
they.
something that's about know that other actually. The character.
You still do?
No, I don't think. do they?
No.
I don't think so.
And San Antonio is pondering getting rid of theirs, but they only do theirs at night.
Mhm. It's like here, it's very hot.
It's really hot, yeah.
And eventually, what I'd like to see, and I'm not trying to be sectarian here, but it would be nice for whichever council member to maybe appoint somebody from the diocese to at least, or something, to have some sort of a partnership. The city of San Antonio and San Fernando are like this when it comes to tourism. San Fernando's open every day from 9 to 6. Later if there's a mass. And even if there's a wedding, they kind of,
Well, I think you're an excellent liaison for that. I mean, you work with, just like I do, I work with the church too, so there's no reason, there's a public citizen. They can come in, we can invite them, and you and I could probably reach out to them and say, we're welcome to come, we'd like to, you know, to have you there at the meeting and be a part of that. I mean, that we, once again,
Right.
we were the resource.
Right.
We could do our part.
yeah, because right now the diocese is entering into a period of transition. Since
20 years?
No,
25 years, what is it, what's the anniversary?
well, not that, Bishop Tamayo has submitted his resignation, his mandatory resignation,
Well, retirement.
retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, for retirement, yeah, when a bishop.
What happened over there?
You're gonna keep preaching.
But
You're gonna keep
don't say that because then this word is gonna go out.
No, no.
Michelle said that the bishop
Bishop.
is
No,
resigning.
no, every bishop at the age of
Yes.
75, every cardinal who's in charge of a department has to turn in their resignation at 75, and so there is a 99% probability that come October, the end of October, we may have a new bishop, so that's why I mean there's transition.
Well, that's good.
So,
Change is good.
Change is good.
And he's done a wonderful job. He's a
Yes.
wonderful bishop, and I think, you know, we are a successful diocese, and I think.
and it's a hard job being a bishop. But it would be nice to see that partnership once again rekindled, where, I'm not saying that, you know, do a video in front of San Agustin like they do with the Alamo, because the architecture no se presta. But, you know, have it open more
Mhm.
and be,
Well, let's work on that.
yeah,
Let's work on that, and we can do that, and let's look
Yes,
forward to
thank you.
October, and we can bring him and introduce him to the group. I think it would be wonderful. If we do have a new bishop and group, we'll be a part of that. That's a great idea. Thank you.
but if you guys would be open to maybe talking to, whichever city manager oversees, assistant city manager oversees, the CBD, and maybe get on the Real Places convention.
It's called Real Places?
Yeah, Real Places, it's every January in Austin. It's from the Texas Historical Commission. And even though they have separate tracks, for preservation,
Do you get appointed for that, or how does that work?
no, you just
So what did it?
register.
Oh.
Yeah, because mostly it was the landmark board, but when I went those 2 times, there was split between preservation on one track, history on the other, and tourism. So you have people from Goliad. Austin has 5 cemeteries I did not know, and I was in Austin for many years. And the city of Austin itself operates those 5 cemeteries, and they offer heritage tours. So people come in October and they tour the cemetery.
That's cool,
So,
very cool, that's great.
so that might be a way of
Mhm.
funneling in some money. And maybe having, like, maybe David Paredes from the cemetery go. And you guys can help with the marketing.
Mhm.
David can navigate getting that money to really fix up the historical parts of the cemetery. And then market that next October as a tour.
Mhm.
Mr. Chair, are we gonna, talk about our next meeting?
August.
Oh, do we need to go on?
No,
No,
are we
okay.
gonna talk up so we could have it already?
That's second.
Because we're not gonna have one in July, but we are gonna have one in
August,
August.
yes.
Yes.
So our
You want
next
to date in
meeting is
August?
gonna be in August, the first, what, Thursday?
It will be August the 8th,
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
good point. August the 8th, and I know that you all do a great job of notifying us.
Yes.
And reminding us again, thank you, because go crazy, so the reminders are very helpful.
Yeah,
Thank you all for that.
yeah.
Are we gonna have a quorum? That's the question.
No, I have like 3 alarms on it, because I like to make sure I don't schedule anything else,
Yeah.
And I'm still getting text messages.
I'm seeing August 1st as the first Thursday.
Sorry, is it
Oh,
August 1st?
August
My
1st?
bad, sorry.
Is the first Thursday?
You know what, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
It's like
August
I'm
1st.
not-
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Chair. Yeah, it will be August 1st, yeah.
Okay, so are we okay with August 1st?
Yeah.
Okay, any other discussions? Any further?
Just wanna thank the staff
Yeah.
and Joel, for taking over Eileen and doing a great job.
Thank you, yes.
You all are working hard and.
Give her our best wishes and we want to make sure that she.
Yeah, we miss her.
That we-
Yes.
We do, but we count, it's her.
And anything you all need, just reach out to us. I know that we could, Harold can help.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind helping out with the writing and stuff.
Okay, I appreciate it, Michelle. Yeah.
Any other?
No, there's no other business that would like to move on.